Alright, here we go. This is the on the water test of the Raider. Now we've got here our fuel gauge and trim gauge. Let's go ahead and run that trim down. It's all the way down at this point. And then we've got volts. Looks like we're doing 12 volts right now, or 13. It's coming up a little bit here. And then RPMs right here, 900, and then our things 14 volts. So that voltage there says 14. So we're right on. Now let's get out of here. And we are reversing it back here. I got the drop curtain and all the sides down. It's pretty warm inside here. That's one of the nice things about a full enclosure is your season got a lot bigger because you can go anytime. It's pretty warm. Even just a little bit of sun and it turns it into a greenhouse. So hydraulic steering on here. And we've got Lowrance. Shifting, everything shifts nice and smooth and easy. And we've got the Lowrance here. Let's fire it off. Okay, running out here. Running good. We're going to go over our own wake here. So we're going to give a little run over our own wake. See how it does. Straightening it out. We'll make contact here. There we go. Perfect. Nice soft ride. This is a really deep V boat. One thing that impressed me with here with just getting everything running is the acceleration. This boat really does hop up on plane. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it down, bring the trim down, and then we're going to go ahead and point it in the right direction. Some boats over there, so give it a little bit here. We're going to cut into this corner here. Okay. We'll watch this speed climb here. We've got the RPMs and get closer so you can see that. Okay, so back to neutral. Okay, RPMs are down. The speed's coming on down here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a takeoff. And here we go, full throttle. Oh, turn there. Oh gosh. $35,000, $5,000, $36,000. Pushed about almost 45 miles an hour there. We got some wind out here kind of pushing us around. But that did good. We're going to go over the 2015 Raider. It's a 20-foot boat with a offshore bracket and a Suzuki 150. I'll go over some of this boat. It's actually a big boat. It looks smaller because it's got a single axle trailer, which is a little odd, but everything's within specs. But it's single axle, big boat still. Normally you'd see something like this with a tandem axle trailer, but this is single. Okay, looking up here at the bow, we've got surge brakes on the trailer, and we have a fold-away tongue on there to give yourself another 36 inches or so. It's got the 2-speed stanchion winch from Fulton, which is great because this sun blocks the sun from wearing out the straps. So the straps last a lot longer on these. Plus, you can pull that out and shift it down into low gear and really crank the boat up if you needed. One challenge, this is on Hughes Crafts as well, but one challenge is this chine comes up to you right here. So when you're bringing it on, you can see how it's gouged into here. This trailer likes to be shallow loaded, so you have to give it a little bit of throttle up onto the trailer, and then you can miss this chunk right here. But if you do hit it, you can push through it. It's just kind of odd, but a lot of boats have that. Anyhow, deep V boat. This actually looks quite a deep V on it. So as you look down here, you can see it's got quite the dead rise on the entrance there, and in the back too. And you can kind of tell when you're riding in it. We've got a vinyl wrap here all the way down. We've also got dual wipers on it here, you'll see, and then you can tell there's a new, or not new, but a top on here. It's original to the boat, but it's 2015. LED navigation lights here, and then we've got, going down the side, we've got the big fat machine cleats. These are kind of cool. A little more unique. It's got the Christmas tree rod holders. You can leave those on or take them off, as well as 3 sets in here. So you got room for rods there. We have oil bath hubs on the trailer here. So those are the Easy Loader oil baths. And then LED lighting all around the boat, which looks to be in pretty good shape lighting wise. This boat was moored in the water, so you can see kind of a scum line around here going around it here. And if you look really close, it's not pitted necessarily, but there's a little bit of, no, it's pitted. Like there's a few pits here you can feel, but for the most part it's pretty smooth. Either those would be sanded out, or I don't know, just leave them. But there's that, and you can see on the back of the transom too, there's some of that as well from being in the water here. The motor itself, the motor is a 150. I'm super impressed with these. I mean, look at the size of this prop. This is a 3x16 by 8 or an 18 pitch. This thing has such a good bite. We were able to push this boat 45 miles an hour with this prop on it and this motor with the 150. That's pretty quick, especially for as much dead rise as it has. One thing they do on these too is it's got a pretty wide transom. So this is actually an extension of the hull. So I know at least in Oregon, this would count as a 22-foot boat. So you could register this at 22 feet for bar crossing. You know, if they have a 20-foot restriction, you can cruise on through. Okay, looking at the rest of the exterior, we have pickups for the raw water washdown in here, and drains. That drain, I think it's not a live well, but it goes to the front compartment, that drain does. This is a brand new anode on here, so we added that. And then we have, let's see here, a couple of dents. This side is in a lot rougher condition than the port side. You can see this is obviously where we pulled crab pots on here. So some crab pots were able to come in contact here. You got scratches through the vinyl. You can replace the vinyl, or you can just do it and scratch it up yourself. And then there's 2 dents in here. If you look here, there's a dent. It's about that long right there, and takes about that much spot. It's hard to see unless the light's right on it. And I thought I could see one more on here. Yeah, there's a little one right here where it concaves a little bit, but you have to see it in the right light to know that it's there. I think that's all the damage on there. Underneath the boat, let's look underneath the boat. So this did have, we scratched off all the barnacles and stuff, so this did have some barnacles and things on here. You can see some of the patches where the barnacles were. They've been scraped off, and these chines have a lot of pitting in them too. These right here are exterior, they're outside of the hull, so they're not, this isn't anything in the hull, but you can see a lot of where the aluminum on here, where the type of aluminum was used or whatnot, was getting eaten by something, but that's got pitting in it on here. Just for full disclosure, won't affect the performance of the boat, as well as it won't get into the hull of the boat, so that's completely separate from the actual hull. Those are open, you can see they're gapped and open between there, so those are just welded on chines, lifting chines outside of the hull. Not a lot of rust or anything on the trailer. For the most part, it's pretty good in comparison to most easy loader trailers. All right, let's hop up in here. It could use a ladder. That's one thing I noticed too, is it has the steps, so you can grab here and step in or go over the side. This is a big boat. You're not gonna believe it by looking at it from the outside, but here's the side. I'm 6'1", comes to here on me. So we've got a lot of freeboard on the gunwales here. And then is this a live well? This is just a fish box, no live well, fish box. There is a washdown pump. It's inside of the compartment here. Let's open this up so you can see it. Here is the hose. Nice little stretchy hose with the valve to shut it off and on. Live well pump there, which is switched up. Actually, the switch is inside, I think, right here. Oh, batteries are off. I don't have the batteries on. There's that. I'll show you the battery switch is on the starboard side here. It's got two brand new batteries in here. I'll kick it on here. And then we'll flip this switch here. Hear the pump fire off. And sprayed water too. And then there's your rigging and stuff inside the boat. Pump for the motor is pre-wired for electric downriggers, Scotties specifically, and those bases are for Scotties. So get a couple of Scotties. Top on here, full height clearance the whole way. So sometimes these tops, they give you a little, there's a give and take. This one right here has the front glass, but it's tall all the way through. So as you enter in here, I'm all the way forward here, full clearance on my head, 6'1", full clearance the whole way through here. And so pretty great that way. Storage under both of the seats on both sides here. And under the driver's seat as well. Storage underneath there as well. For that, here's our side-mounted Suzuki controls here. Start right there, crank. Here we have Lawrence. Here's something for you. We don't have the key for this lock on here. So this thing is on here and you can't take it out, neither can anybody steal it either. So that's a Hook 9 on there, so a 9-inch screen that has maps and GPS as well as the depth fish finder. It's chirp as well. Then we have RPMs with a smart gauge, so it can tell you if you have engine issues or something along those lines on there. And then we have our voltage here, fuel level here, and trim gauge here. But the trim gauge did not come on, so we'll either check that out or trim doesn't work. One of the two needs to be inspected because it would go down when we put it, but it would go down too soon. So I guess that's just an adjustment on the motor. I'll have to turn the little lever, that cam that does it. Okay, more storage up here in this compartment here. Be nice for a battery pack for a bow mount or something. Nice room up here for storage, and then you have the glove box glove box area. It's not huge, but it works for keeping your stuff nice and dry. And there you go, pretty straightforward. Exit out the front here like this, boom, boom, boom. And then these come off and we can go up into the front. There's a storage compartment here, which is kind of dirty, but that's just storage area. This is kind of a fish well here, has a drain and stuff in it as well. That drain runs out the back. Lots of room up here for a good amount of gear. You could put it, put your crab pots, whatnot up here. But big entrance to get in through the top. So it's nice. You don't have to duck and climb through. And we also put this cover back on. Cover for that. And then on these, you take that, go about halfway, and then start snapping these nice and snug. All the snaps are good. We just went through them all and put some of the snap grease on them so they would be nice and easy to open and close, or put on and off. And there you go, front sealed up just perfectly. Okay, So there, the backdrop can come off, of course, and you can run it most of the time without it. But even with it, I mean, you open this up, you got a lot of space. But we're just going to separate them, and look at the amount of deck space you have here. So if I lay down here, I bet you have 6 feet here. Yeah, about 6 feet laying out here. It's good size, lots of room. It's a wide boat too. So as you'll see, this boat's a big boat. It's just a lot of space, a lot of freeboard. Pretty straightforward, quite simple. Not a lot to mess with. The Suzuki on it runs awesome. It's got low hours on it, 112 hours, which is, you know, every year you're supposed to change the oil 100 hours, and so you basically have 1 year of use on it. So you got 100 hours on that. Hydraulic steering on it. I'm getting really impressed with those. The amount of hole shot this boat has. Like, there's a very few boats that when you throttle it hard, you can get that little funny feeling in your stomach because it accelerates so fast. This one does. It hops up so fast. It's pretty light, but like I said, it's big. A lot of room in here. Dual wipers on it. So it's really a substantial boat. There's a lot here, and pretty easy. You can see down in the bilge here. Let's get you a shot of the bilge. It's clean. Gas tank is 40 gallons. So just to tell you, 40 gallons of fuel in this boat. Gives you pretty darn good range, especially with that motor. The lightness of this aluminum boat, that's going to give you a good range. Out running out into the ocean for even tuna and stuff. So should be a good way that way. All around, looks like an all around good, solid, sturdy boat, aluminum boat, and should have a pretty good price on it here for you too. So let's put together a deal on it, and you can come down here to the coast, stay overnight, have a nice little trip of it, pick the boat up. We're on a lot right on Highway 101, so we're easy to locate and find, easy to get in and out of. There's not a lot of challenges that way, and we can meet you any time of day or night. So it's just Jackson and I usually do all the sales here, so you pretty much have once you get in contact with Jackson, you pretty much can make it. So it's easy and quick. Put a deposit on it to hold it, and you can make a trip from anywhere and come and check it out.